one. So Kyrie Irving ended up getting traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and ever since it was announced that Kyrie Irving requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, it looked like all signs point to the Los Angeles Lakers. Kyrie Irving, that was his preferred destination. The Lakers, they wanted him. All was looking right in the world, and at the end of the day, the Lakers missed out on Kyrie Irving, and rightfully so. Many people were very upset and felt like the Lakers front office didn't do everything in their power to get it done. There were even conflicting reports that the Lakers only offered one first-round pick, or they offered picks with protections, or they didn't want to offer any first-round picks, and there was a lot of uncertainty that led to a lot of just people upset. Laker fans feeling like we had a real opportunity here to get Kyrie Irving, and we failed. And now he goes to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, when it comes to Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks, still a lot to be left up in the air. I mean, we could be right back in the situation come the offseason, because there are reports that Dallas is kind of worried about giving him an extension, that Kyrie Irving may not even stay. But regardless, that Dallas was still willing to do this deal, because even if Kyrie leaves, they would have enough cap space to max out a player, maybe even get multiple players to help out with Luka Doncic. So this was, at worst case, a salary clearing move that has good, low risk, high reward type play. If it works with Kyrie and Luka Doncic, which there's a lot of concerns that it won't, but if it does, great. You just re-sign him. Maybe he's happy. Maybe he likes it in Dallas. Maybe he likes playing next to Luka. And then there you go. All is right in the world. Or the alternative is it doesn't work out. You can either let Kyrie go, or if Kyrie just says, I don't want to be here, I don't want to play with you guys, I want to go to the Lakers or some other team, well, then he could just say, okay, I'm done. He could leave, and then Dallas has all that cap space. But whatever ends up happening, nonetheless, at the end of the day, the Lakers do not have Kyrie Irving right now, and he was supposed to be the savior, right? He was supposed to be the one on the white horse that comes in and saves the day, and unfortunately, it didn't happen. But now we know for certain why the Lakers didn't get Kyrie Irving, and it has nothing to do with the Lakers front office, right? And look, I was like many of us, I was very upset. I was like, why didn't Pelinka do anything? I understood that, hey, they didn't want draft picks, they wanted players. But my thinking was like, you really couldn't have found another third team, maybe given some quality pieces, right? Like the Hornets, maybe you could have gotten them like Terry Rozier in some piece, or there was talks about the Toronto deal. Like maybe you could have gotten Gary Trent and some other pieces, Fred VanVleet, and sent them to the Nets or something to get Kyrie Irving. Although I'm sure many people would probably prefer that deal, and hopefully that deal still gets done. But it turns out that it was actually the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, Joe Tsai. Joe Tsai, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, refused to trade Kyrie to the Lakers out of spite to Kyrie Irving. So got this report from Trevor Lane, and he was quoting Mark Stein. The latest report from the Stein line confirms that one of Joe Tsai's presumed objectives in a Kyrie trade was to not send him to his preferred landing spot, the Lakers. Trevor Lane from Lakers Nation isn't the only one to report this. I mean, you can find it everywhere now at this point. Everyone's talked about this report that basically Joe Tsai was like, I'm going to trade you, but I'm not trading you to where you want to go. I'm going to trade you to anywhere else but there, as kind of a last, sort of F you to Kyrie Irving. And so because of this, the Lakers didn't end up getting Kyrie Irving, which, again, is really petty for one. Two, maybe they could have gotten a better deal. I mean, I think the Clippers offered a better deal now that we know what the Clippers deal was, which was basically a first-round pick, 2 pick swaps, and 4 seconds or 6 seconds, something crazy like that. It was something insane, plus Terrence Mann and Luke Kennard. I think that was a much better trade than what they got, but they really like Spencer Dinwiddie, and they wanted a point guard and a wing. The Lakers could have found that. The Lakers could have gotten that done, but Joe Tsai, as I said this before, I said this in a video, and people try to tell me that the Nets, that Kyrie did this to himself. It's not the Nets. The Nets aren't trying to spite Kyrie. The Brooklyn Nets have just belittled, just basically thrown him under the bus in every opportunity they can, called him a racist, but did everything. I mean, it's all well documented. I have it all here on the channel. All the things that Joe Tsai said about him. Let's talk about the skeletons in Joe Tsai's closet. What's going on with all the genocide and stuff that you're okay with? Joe Tsai sits here and, trots around like he's this holier than thou type person, and he's allowing people to literally die so he can make money. Like, literally. Go look up the stuff that Joe Tsai has allowed to happen and has given the green light to. You're talking about lives here. Yet Joe Tsai was the first one to come out and, condemn Kyrie and call him, that the impact and he's a racist and all this stuff. And Joe Tsai has talked about he wants Kyrie gone. He didn't want this and that. He's done with Kyrie. We got all those reports. And now look, Kyrie ends up leaving. He could have went to the Lakers, but instead Joe Tsai got what he wanted. He wanted the last laugh and the last poke you. Here's the problem. And here's what Joe Tsai doesn't understand. Look. Congrats to Dallas. Great move by the Dallas Mavericks. Congratulations to them. Seriously. They no matter what, it's going to be a win for them. Because if Kyrie works, it's perfect. If he doesn't work, they let him go and they got cap space. But you know what this does? This ensures that the Brooklyn Nets don't get another star unless it's via trade. Because what star is going to want to go to the Brooklyn Nets and see what they did to Kevin Durant, what they did to Kyrie Irving, and then when it's all said and done, they spited Kyrie Irving just because Joe Tsai had his feelings hurt. What free agent, star player, is looking at the Brooklyn Nets and going, man, I want to be the next star to be there? Joe Tsai was just too bullheaded, too stubborn, and didn't realize what it was. And he played hardball with Kevin Durant. Okay, fine. Sure. But now that was a sign to other players. Like, if I go there and I'm not happy, he's not going to let me go. Okay. And then the whole Kyrie Irving situation, because a lot of players feel that Kyrie Irving, a lot of players stuck up and spoke out about Kyrie Irving and just the way that he was mistreated. And then when all is said and done, they still went and did this. You don't think players notice that? You don't think players are going to pay attention to that? And also, from the Lakers side, we do have reports that the Lakers offered everything. The Lakers offered the whole kitchen sink. They offered both first, Russell Westbrook, and then they were open to several seconds, whatever. They were trying to work out deals. Basically, they said, whatever you want, let us know and we'll give it for you. They were even willing to work out 3-team deals, whatever. But Joe Tsai did not want to trade Kyrie Irving to the Lakers because he wanted to spite Kyrie Irving. He didn't want Kyrie to feel like Kyrie won, even though Kyrie still won. And at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving could still go to the Lakers in the offseason. So the Lakers, when all is said and done, could get Kyrie free. Now you have to work stuff out and, do you work out a sign and trade with Dallas if that comes? The Lakers could still clear about $30 million in cap space. Is Kyrie Irving willing to take the discount in order to do that? Possibly. He was willing to leave the Brooklyn Nets on a discount. He said, I will leave. I'm never signing an extension. If you don't trade me, then I will just leave in free agency and I'll get what I can get. Not just that, but if Dallas doesn't give him a max, no team is probably giving him a max. So even then at that point, it's just what destination do you think is your favorite? What destination is the place you want to go to? And if it really is the Lakers, then he could just go to the Lakers and he'll make his contract back on endorsements and brand deals and shoe deals and everything else. So Kyrie Irving will be fine. If he does go to the Lakers or decide to go to the Lakers, and again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it will. He very well could stay with the Dallas Mavericks. He wanted his money. Maybe him and Luka works. I'm just saying, Joe Tsai did this out of pure spite, and in the end, Kyrie could still end up with the Lakers, just rather than the Lakers just got to wait 3 more months. Like, it's silly. It's absolutely silly. Why wouldn't you get the best package you could as an owner? As an owner of a franchise? Again, the Clippers package was better than that. Even if you weren't going to send him to the Lakers, you still could have taken the Clippers package. But I don't think he wanted to send him to LA because that's where Kyrie wanted to go. Kyrie wanted to go to LA. And it's like, well, if we don't send him to the Lakers, well then, he's still in LA. He still gets what he wants. He still gets to be in the city he wants. So they were like, okay, fine. I'm going to send you somewhere else. And they sent him to Dallas, which to the Nets' credit, I don't think it was a terrible deal. I just think they could have gotten a better deal. And that's my thing, is like, why sell for pennies on the dollar when you could have gotten, 50 cents or, 75 cents of a dollar, or maybe even the full dollar, right? Like, it's petty. It's silly. But this was Joe Tsai the entire process. Again, all this stuff is well documented. I have it all here on the channel. Joe Tsai, every step of the way, was the most petty person you could find. Most petty person you could see, which is crazy given that he's a billionaire businessman who's probably lost and had to cut his losses on all kinds of investments and decisions and this, that, and the other. You would think that he'd be a little more like, hey, it happens. But you know what? He's a guy that probably never lost, and he's in a league where players have all the power. And so what happened is he got his feelings hurt because he had a guy in Kyrie Irving who challenged him, and he said, okay, I'm going to show you. And now look, now you're probably just ruined any potential in the future of any star wanting to go there. Because any star that wants to go there is going to look at it as like, if I go there, I'm stuck. Like, he's not going to let me go if I want to leave. And look at how he treated Kevin Durant and look at how he treated Kyrie Irving. It's ridiculous. So, it sucks that the Lakers didn't get Kyrie Irving. It does. It would have been amazing to see these three out on the court, LeBron and Kyrie and Anthony Davis. I mean, you probably win a championship the next several seasons. Unfortunately, it didn't work out and it fell through. And who knows? Whatever happens, happens. Maybe Kyrie comes at some point. Maybe he doesn't. If he really wants to be a Laker that bad, then maybe he's just got to wait a couple more months. He was going to wait till the end of the year anyway, very likely. So now, if that's the case, we'll see what happens in the offseason. But in the meantime, it's at least good to know that the Lakers did offer everything, right? Because that was a big concern. I even made a video talking about it and talking about how can you miss the ball? How can you miss the opportunity? And it turns out that, we were wrong. Many of us were wrong, right? That they were willing to give up and do whatever it took to get Kyrie Irving. So hopefully this makes LeBron happier. Hopefully the Lakers still make a move, because we do still very badly need a move. And my hope is that they do, whether it's Gary Trent and Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet, or maybe it's a multi-deal, right? Maybe there's a lot of talks about Utah. Maybe they could do the Utah deal for 1 first in a couple seconds or something. And then you could take Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn and go do the Gary Trent deal. That is something that could be happening. There were also reports from The Athletic that the Lakers didn't want to give up all of their second round picks, and if ideally they would want to keep a first round pick because they had another deal in the works or lined up. Well, Gary Trent has been reported to be able to be obtained for multiple seconds or a protected first. So if the Lakers wanted to keep all of their seconds, maybe it was Gary Trent. Maybe Gary Trent was who they were trying to go after, and maybe he'll end up, maybe we wake up in the morning to some good news. That would be awesome. But again, I'm just glad the Lakers actually did make the effort, did make the attempt, and try to get Kyrie Irving. You got to respect that. You got to be happy about that. It's just, you had an owner on the other side that just said, no, like, I'm not doing it. Where, I'm going to spite Kyrie. And it's silly. He ripped off his nose to spite his face. Like, it's stupid. It was just silly. But those are my thoughts and opinions. And I mean, I am a Laker fan, so of course I'm going to think it's silly. Maybe some people think, oh, good, good for him. I'm sure Net fans are like, yeah, good, you stuck it to Kyrie. But I'm of the mindset your job is to get the best return possible. I'm not even saying the Lakers necessarily would have given you the best return possible. I'm not talking about Russell Westbrook at 2 firsts, but could you have gotten, say, a PJ Washington, Terry Rozier, and Kelly Oubre? That would have been better. You would have gotten a young power forward, a 3-and-D shooting. Like, you could have gotten more in players and picks and whatever, especially if you didn't want picks. Could have went and got players. Maybe you could have gotten some of the Jazz pieces, whatever. I just think that they should have seen what else could you have gotten. Like I said, the Clippers offered a lot more than, based on the reports, a lot more than what they got. So that's my thing. It's like, why not? Why wouldn't you get the best deal possible? So anyway, again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions, however you feel about it. Let me know down in the comment section below.